While God created the world, the morning stars sang together. After God delivered Israel through the Red Sea, Moses and Miriam led the people in singing. God destroyed Israel's enemies under King Jehoshaphat, while the choir sang. When Jesus was born, the angels sang, and before going to the cross, he sang. God rejoices over us with singing, and one of the only things we know for certain that everyone will be doing in heaven is singing. At New St. Andrews College, we understand that music is not an elective. It is central to our being and identity. We endeavor to train all our students in a joyful and robust musical literacy that will help them shape culture in a Christ-like direction wherever they go. Additionally, we offer the Certificate of Music in conjunction with our bachelor's degree in liberal arts and culture for students who desire extra music training beyond the regular music courses they will take as a part of the core curriculum. In the certificate program, you won't simply appreciate music or listen to it or talk about it. You will do music. You will study it, analyze it, read it, write it, sing it, and play it. You will receive private instruction in your primary instrument, as well as secondary lessons in voice, piano, conducting, and other instruments. You will receive a solid foundation in music theory and analysis. You will study music history, church music, and music pedagogy. And when you graduate, you will leave with the ability to sing, play, understand, and steward music in whatever church or community you plant yourself. I'm Dr. David Erb, and this is the Certificate of Music at New St. Andrews College.
November elections right around the corner. And then after that, it's Trump or DeSantis. That's all it is. That's all it is.
No.
Trump or DeSantis.
The main thing is go to church and worship Jesus.
Amen. That's right. And then we get into Herschel Walker. And don't forget about Shamika. It's Monday. Pastor Toby Chalk Knox, the Waterboy. It's good to be with you guys. Don't forget, we're going to be in Wenatchee on Friday, live show in Wenatchee at the Seventh-day Adventist Church in Wenatchee. Look forward to seeing you guys there. If you have any questions, Kings Cross, Wenatchee @gmail.com.
Stop sending your hard-earned money to companies that hate you. It's time to build a Christian economy. Bobo Construction Inc. is literally doing just that, not metaphorically, literally. For all of your construction needs, partner with Bobo Construction today. For any project in California, Nevada, Washington, or Idaho, contact Austin Bobo at boboconstructioninc.com or visit the website boboconstructioninc.com. Whatever is fair and right, that's what we do, Bobo Construction Inc.
So I'm that guy that jumps over the wall first.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah, you do.
Right? Yeah. Run.
How do you think we got CrossPolitic started?
And jump over the wall first.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Sometimes it works out well for me.
Sometimes you get arrested.
Sometimes I'm the only guy on the other side of the wall, and that's it.
You're like, hey,
you guys can come on, help me out over here.
No.
So I'm actually
come back over. Come back over.
I'm actually starting a grassroots organization called Patriots for DeSantis.us. So the website Patriots for DeSantis.us, because I think, and I've actually talked to some major political players in the U.S. One of them,
us.
One of them, not well. I don't consider any of us a major political player.
Did you get the email?
Yeah. Did you not get it?
I didn't get an email. I mean, if your friends going to start shooting at folks, kind of want to know.
And one of the reasons why I'm starting it early, this is early, grassroots
you don't
early.
Say.
2022.
He hasn't even said he's going to be running for president yet, Gabe.
He's going to be. But is because, actually, I was talking to a major political guy.
It was me.
Last week.
Yeah.
And he said, I said, hey, you want to join me in this grassroots organization? And he said, I can't come out yet. I can't endorse anybody yet. I got to wait for things to develop further. And I think as Christians, we got to stop playing that game. Wait for things to develop further, and then if you endorse when it's finally safe, you might get into the administration. That's kind of the goal.
I mean,
that's not my point.
No, I'm not saying you guys. I referenced it. I didn't reference.
I don't know, Gabe.
I just thought you were talking about the major political players in this room.
No.
Honestly, there is some wisdom into not letting certain parts know what other parts are doing and waiting until it's absolutely time to strategy.
And also, voting for president is like it's like after you take out the garbage, after you do the dishes, after you go to church
and change the diapers,
change the diapers, after you get married and have kids and baptize them.
Preach now.
That's
Then
way.
I'm there. Obviously,
wait.
Obviously, I'm there with you guys.
After you vote for your sheriff, did you say sheriff?
Sheriff, all that stuff.
Yeah, take your city council members out for lunch.
But part of the reason why I think patriotsfordesantis.us is so important is because
you made it.
I made it. Of course, I made it. You guys can actually go to the website. You can endorse. You can join the email list. All that stuff.
The thoughts of this host are not the ones shared with the rest of the hosts.
Yeah. Put a little caveat there.
Okay.
Is because
all the opinions.
if Trump ran and if Trump got elected, he only has 4 years left. That's it. If Ron DeSantis ran, and Ron DeSantis won, he'd have 8 years.
Why not Trump with DeSantis and then DeSantis for 4 more years, 8 more years after that? Why not go for 12?
Trump and DeSantis would never be on the same ticket.
Why?
You're two apes in a room. It wouldn't happen.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Two just very white apes in a room.
Just keep jumping over that wall.
You guys went there. I didn't.
Patriots for DeSantis.us.
Two head honchos in a room. They wouldn't do it. Actually, I think here's what I think is
why? Why can't they serve?
That's just not how head honchos work. They don't function.
Okay.
You two type A. You don't get them on the same ticket.
Okay.
You get a Trump Pence.
Okay. Wait.
Well, the three of us have been on the same ticket.
You'll get a Trump beta male, right? Trump Pence.
Okay.
Whoa.
Make your argument.
Okay.
Why are you doing this?
So for one, DeSantis got 8 years. For another, DeSantis has real military background, and we have a huge woke problem in the military that Trump I don't think can touch, given he doesn't have a military background. And then number 4, all the areas that Trump was a good president. I liked him. We all voted for him the second time, or at least I know I did. But the areas that he failed are the areas where Ron DeSantis is strong at.
Like what?
Fauci and COVID. So Trump should have the bureaucracy in the administration, the legacy administration,
Was he
like
better?
the legacy bureaucratic world, like Fauci. Trump did a horrible job with. He lost the election because he did not handle Fauci well at all. In fact, he platformed him.
DeSantis.
But what's the timing on DeSantis turning? Remember, he didn't stay open.
No, DeSantis turned months into it.
I went down there in May. And I was about to get arrested.
Yeah, well,
guardsmen.
That's a federal TSA thing.
Doing
that's
it.
not.
And DeSantis did not help.
Isn't his governor? I had to fill out information.
No, the TSA is a federal thing.
I know.
Yeah,
it's not DeSantis.
So was Fauci.
He wasn't bully pulpiting against it.
Yeah, he was.
No, he wasn't.
He bully pulpit.
He
bully pulpit.
I didn't even know DeSantis was the governor of Florida until he started stepping up.
Yeah,
until he put his finger in the wind.
But I'm saying,
this is popular.
I agree. There's a weakness there in DeSantis. But that weakness is, I think, largely eliminated with how he's turned and changed.
Part of it I don't like because I do like DeSantis and I really appreciate the fact that he's been standing up.
Yep.
I think that the fact that he was one of the first governors to say, you know what, I went through all the facts, I studied everything, I'm not going to do this.
Yep.
I'm in with him in a lot of ways.
Yep.
I don't think he's ready for the fight that Trump has.
Dude, he's been fighting from Florida like crazy on the woke stuff, on the CRT stuff, on the he's been doing all the areas that I want to see a president fight in. He's been starting to do in Florida,
and I think
he's got a proven record there.
And I think that's good boot camp.
The area where Trump messed up the most is the area where he's weakest, and that's understanding the bureaucracy and which is where I think DeSantis largely has it down. He's been governor, he's been a politician. He knows the bureaucracy and he knows where to fight, and that's where Trump lost. Trump lost in the bureaucratic fight.
No, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Megyn Kelly.
That's where he did.
Megyn Kelly actually agrees with me. So.
Well, I just don't think anybody else could win if Trump runs. So, and I don't know.
You think if they got on a stage, you don't think that DeSantis is crafty enough or the record stands enough to really? Interesting.
No, I don't even think that a little. I think Trump sucks up all the energy in every room, no matter what. And even someone as skilled as a politician and smart policy-wise as DeSantis can't overcome that. He can't. The only way DeSantis is going to become the Republican nominee is if Trump chooses not to run and endorses him or dies. Like, I just don't see a world in which Trump says, I want it. Let's say he says, I want it, and DeSantis beats him fair and square in the primary. You really think the hardcore MAGA is going to abandon Trump for DeSantis? They're not. I talk to them all the time. I take calls from them on my radio show, and they won't. They like DeSantis, but they don't think it's his turn. They think Trump was screwed out of his last election, that he was screwed out of his first term by all the craziness, the Russiagate and so on. And they think he is entitled. He deserves another shot at it. And so
here's what I'd like to happen. I would like Trump to endorse DeSantis. I think that'd be a great move there. And then I would like
wait, time out. You want Donald Trump
to endorse DeSantis,
to say that he's not going to run, and then to endorse Ron DeSantis for president.
Yeah.
Of 2024.
And what I would like the House,
sure.
because we'd get the House in November, and then what I'd like the House to do is vote to have Trump become Speaker of the House. And then Trump could head up all the inquiries and everything that Nancy Pelosi's been doing against Trump. I think that would be fantastic if that happened. And then you have a president who I think better understands the bureaucratic ropes, which has been a lot of problem under Trump administration.
Have you not seen the Trump rallies?
No, they're big. They're big.
Have you not noticed that there's been nobody to motivate these type of voters in America since Barack Obama?
DeSantis has been also on the campaign trail, hoping he's been bringing some big crowds too. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. It is an interesting thought. I mean, I wonder, like, the presidency obviously has more responsibility than Speaker of the House.
Yep.
But I do also wonder strategically, where can Trump do the biggest damage, the right kind of damage? And I mean, I hadn't thought about the Speaker of the House play.
Yeah.
But part of me is I'm sympathetic to what Knox's point, because I'm not sure he'll do it.
Listen,
like, even if he could do more damage as Speaker of the House, part of me feels like he just wouldn't do that.
He's that head honcho.
He's the head honcho.
He's the head honcho.
And he's not going to endorse DeSantis.
If I'm in favor, I'm not against Trump winning the election, but I don't want to see Trump and DeSantis going at it in the primaries. It's really bad. I think it's bad for the Republican Party, bad for business.
Why?
Because you'll end up splitting a lot of the base in a way and getting a lot of people out of fellowship with each other.
Maybe in the political side, but everybody else who's voting will come back.
But what I would like to see is if Trump, or if Trump wins the nomination, my bet is he selects Tulsi Gabbard as the VP.
That was my thought.
Yeah.
That was my thought. Yeah. If he did that, I would say this though. So, Ron, look, whatever's going to happen next in our presidential election, which honestly, in one sense, I'm starting to care less and less about it. I'm more like Pastor Toby in this one.
County before country.
Absolutely. I'm way more concerned about,
sheriff.
If we're going to have revival in America, if we're going to have people's hearts turned, if we're going to have our streets not running around with crime, we are going to have to do some. As much as we are engaging with Ron DeSantis and Donald Trump, we're going to have some repentance of our own, massive repentance of our own in our own homes. So I'm thinking about, okay, Lord, where am I not being faithful at? And where do I need to be faithful at with my own children that I keep my kids? Because right now, people are complaining and whining about, oh man, they're taking our kids and they're teaching our kids this trans thing, they're teaching our kids this stuff over there. And I'm like, how come they got your kids?
Right.
What do you mean they're teaching you? How is it they have your kids?
Well, because Ron DeSantis keeps paying for those schools.
And so does Trump.
I'm very concerned about the president. I'm even more concerned about how are we living and engaging with our own homes, in our churches, with people in our community, being faithful on the very local level, so that whatever happens, the blessings of God reside on us.
Yep.
Right? I always love this from Pastor Toby's sermon. There's light always in Goshen. Is there going to be light in Goshen regardless of whatever happens with the Republican Party in the fight there? Or are we going to be so concerned about those things out there that we're not taking care of the main things at home? And
of course, I'm with you on that.
I'm not trying to put aside what you're saying, but I'm saying there is a way for us to make those things way more important than they need to be. And I think we need to have the strategy for it, but we're not thinking about the more important stuff. Like, are your prayers being hindered because you haven't repented to your wife about something?
That's right.
Like, that's really important if we're going to face the kind of monster we're facing right now in the culture. Our problem ultimately isn't a presidency problem. We can have Obama back again and God can bless us if we're faithful people doing the things that God's required us to do. And then we probably wouldn't have an Obama at the end of the day. Yeah. But our problem is that we're in a position where we have to have a kamikaze conservative president in order to try and save the union. Well, then that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because the people are a problem.
Well,
all right, I'm done ranting.
I have a huge fleshly desire to see Trump win and go in and Quentin Tarantino all DC.
I want him to go to the January 6th. What is the little thing that they're doing?
The hearing,
nobody's
the
watching.
Hearing.
I want to go just so the ratings go up, and he has an absolute blast tearing those guys apart, and be like, "That was fun. That was great." You know, I think he should go just to tear them up. But so that's entertaining. Yeah. But that's no victory in that.
Yeah.
You know, I think what is also more important than the presidential election is becoming a Fight Laugh Feast Club member.
Hey!
You know why? Because joining the Fight Laugh Feast Army not only aids us in our fight to take down secular and legacy media.
That's right.
And the Dave Rubins. But you'll also get access to content placed in our club portal, such as past shows, all of our conference talks, including all of the conference talks we just had.
Just happened.
They're there
right
now. I found them, my own thumb. There they were. You also get exclusive content for club members that you won't be able to get anywhere else. We go backstage many days each week with our guests or just us to argue and talk and say things that you want to hear. Lastly, you'll also get discounts for our conferences. So join the Fight Laugh Feast Army today. Go to fightlaughfeast.com, become a club member, and join us.
Gabe, if your page is successful, I'll apologize to you.
Grassroots movement. This is grassroots for DeSantis. All right. So November's coming up. Herschel Walker and Warnock just had a debate. If you guys missed the Water Break show on Sunday night, we actually had Joseph Backholm kind of walk through some of the races. Where are the hot races? There's about 7 hot races nationwide. It was a good little.
Yeah, Minnesota's got one, the second district in Minnesota right now.
Yep. So there's a number of them.
Angie Craig, I believe it is.
But Herschel Walker and Warnock had their only debate on Friday night, this past Friday night. And actually, before we get there, Warnock had an interview before the debate that we're going to play here real quick.
No, this is in the debate.
Was this in the debate?
Yeah, this was in the debate.
All right, here play.
And if they choose to sit with their pastor and to pray about that and let their own conscience guide them. Even God gave us a choice. That's right, Jimmy.
Even God gave us a choice. Can you clarify what you meant by that? You have 30 seconds.
Oh, I think it's self-explanatory. God gave us a choice. And I respect the right of women to make a decision. These are medical decisions. They are deeply personal. Women find themselves in a range of circumstances. There are enough politicians piling into the rooms of patients, and I don't plan to join them.
But just to clarify, in your opinion, God gave us a choice in regards to abortion.
It is apparent that God has given us a range of choices, and the people of Georgia have a choice right now about who they think should represent them in the Senate.
I don't think Pastor Warnock, he's a pastor.
Yeah, he was a pastor at Ebenezer Baptist Church, Martin Luther King Jr.'s church.
I mean,
in Georgia,
pastors will stand before God for the things they say.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But you got to admit,
and this is amazing what he's arguing for.
The spin he put on the end of that was amazing.
Right, and it had nothing to do with the question. And also, you have a choice about what kind of ice cream you want.
You know what?
Your choice where you want to get your gas, and a choice about who you're going to vote for.
You could have a choice of whether or not you agree with what he says or don't agree with what he says.
Or
but you have a choice about it.
Have a choice to kill and murder babies.
One of the things though that has been interesting is watching guys like him talk. He's grew up in the environment where, charismatic preachers. He knows how to move a room. He knows how to engage a room, and he knows how to not answer a question in a way that's convincing to an audience, right? It's hard to argue with. Oh, you have a choice. Everybody should have a choice. But one of the questions that wasn't asked, and I don't think that it was pushed any further than this, was what is God's position on a human being being able to have life in the womb? Like he's not answering. He's not giving an objective standard for.
Do children have a choice?
Right. Since they have a choice, what is their choice in this matter? And they're not giving them that choice.
And the other thing is that it just continually just astonishes me. Is the way that this gets pushed. It's why is the choice not to whether or not to engage in sex or not? Why do we treat women like they are helpless victims of every single sexual act
encounter?
I mean, quite apart from from violent coercion. Okay. That's not what most abortion is. 99% of abortion is elective abortion for people who had sex. They chose to have sex, which is an action that often results in pregnancy. And we act like that's somehow like we don't know how that happens.
Right.
It's random and we're just victims. And if you don't let them have an abortion, they're the victims of the universe. We don't know.
So Herschel Walker and Warnock actually the whole debate on the abortion section of this debate was actually pretty fun, and
but that's the only thing that was really there.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, it was funny. Our producer was like, he was a little disappointed. Neil, he was talking about this. He's like, man, again, Warnock was very well spoken. Herschel Walker didn't seem to have the same sort of presence on stage, which was kind of, but the part that he did do well, this is what made the internet.
Yeah.
Because he told me Black Lives Matter. And if you think about it, Senator, in Atlanta, Georgia, there's more black baby that is aborted than anything. So if Black Lives Matter, why are you not protecting those babies? And instead of aborting those babies, why are you not baptizing those babies?
Is Herschel Presbyterian?
No, but yeah, I like what
It's a great line.
So yeah, I mean, everybody on Twitter started sending me, "Hey, you been talking to Herschel Walker?" I was like, "No, I mean, I want the parents to be believers too first, y'all. Come on now, we have a standard here. I'm totally for baptizing baby, Raphael. Yeah, but so that was a good line. But Herschel actually had a few good lines in the debate. That was one of them. I don't think there was a whole lot of them, but that's one of them.
Do you believe there should be any limitations on abortion set by the government? And you have 60 seconds.
I think that the women of this country and the women of this state woke up one summer morning and a core protection that they've known for 50 years was taken from them by an extremist Supreme Court. And I stand where I've said I stand in the past, that a patient's room is too narrow and small and cramped a space for a woman, her doctor, and the United States government. We are witnessing right now what happens when politicians, most of them men, pile into patients' rooms. You get what you're seeing right now. And the women of Georgia deserves a senator who will stand with them. I trust women more than I trust politicians.
May I respond?
Very quickly, Mr. Walker.
It is, and I heard about him. I heard he was a neat talker, but did he not mention that there's a baby in that room as well? And also, did he not mention that he asking the taxpayer to pay for it? So he's bringing the government back into the room.
Not bad.
Pretty basic.
Not bad.
That was
There's
actually-
a baby in the room,
Yeah.
and he's also having the government pay for it. And government
So
come
bringing
back in
everybody
the-
back into it.
The other thing though that they're not well I'll leave it there. Okay, never mind.
So whatever your thoughts about Herschel Walker, because he's in a big controversy right now about supposedly maybe paying for an abortion years ago.
Yeah,
with that $700 check. That's not verified.
That's not where the controversy should be at, though.
Yeah, it should be at his son.
That's what I'm going to say. It's okay, so we don't have the evidence to make a complete ruling on the abortion stuff yet. We don't know. We want 2 or 3 witnesses. We want a trial. So as far as I'm considered, is innocent until proven guilty. So that's just. But what's clear is that whatever kind of relationship he's had with his son, he clearly wasn't a good.
Dysfunctional.
It's very dysfunctional, and his ability to be able to garden his home is clearly not there.
Right.
And so, what kind of governance do you think he's going to have of his office if he can't garden his own garden and home and his son? And this is where, what conservatives, I'm with y'all. It's way better to have this guy who's pro-life and I get that. But you're going to have another kind of problem, though, right?
Right.
This is still a problem this isn't a great victory for us. We want men who know how to manage their homes. That's the ones we want in the politics, right? That's what we want inside of government, speaking to government and representing the Constitution properly. When you have sin in your life, it leaves you compromised. One of the things that was really interesting, we talked about the abortions in Georgia. I looked this up. 65% of the abortions in Georgia are from black folks.
Damn.
They make up just 1/3 of the population. Now, just on a voting level, let's say that they still decide to vote Democratic the whole way. Could you imagine the impact and power that they would have as a voting bloc if they weren't killing off their own? You would think that the Republican Party is the one pushing them to kill off their kids so that they can have a weakened voting bloc in the Democratic Party. But no, it's actually what they would call the Christian nationalists, racists, whatever they are, trying to say, hey, stop killing your babies.
Man.
It's those folks who are getting the blame for being racist, and they're telling them, hey, don't kill off your seed. Don't kill off your baby. Raise up your progeny. You guys can vote however you want to. Hopefully you vote the right way, the one who want to save your life. But don't kill off your folks. It's amazing.
That narrative is amazing.
And isn't it amazing?
It's incredible. It's incredible.
How in the world do the ones who are trying to save the lives of a group of people that make up a third of the population in Georgia,
Right.
and have 65% of the abortions overall, say, don't kill your babies, but get the name of being racist.
Yeah.
Right. Save black babies.
Yeah. Yeah. White Christian nationalists, how could you?
Well, and this next clip, which is related to all this, it should go viral.
Shamika Michelle.
Shamika, who appears on The Blaze
she's
with Knox on
she's a
Fearless.
contributor on
Jason
on
Whitlock on
yeah.
Fearless.
She's
I found
First Lady of the Fearless Army, if I remember
this
correctly.
clip came past my Twitter thread, and I'm like, "Who is that girl?" Because it's just a video pops up, and you're like, "Okay, well, I'm gonna hit play," and I hit play, and I was like, "Oh, that's Shamika." And then, but I mean, this is a mic drop.
So yes, I think that the black community does actually need strong nuclear families, but not because we're black, but because that's the natural order.
Amen.
And so I think it would be safe to say that Reese may not be a Christian, because when God looked at man, he said it's not good for man to be alone. He gave him a woman. He didn't give him a village. He didn't give him the community. He said, be fruitful and multiply to this man and this woman. So it's supposed to be God, husband, wife, child. And that's the natural order. And that's why I think we can see some of the foolishness that we see in the black community, because we are out of order. And we can make up all of this stuff that sounds good. I'm from a single parent home, and I'm not somewhere cracked out in the streets selling my body. However, that is not ideal. It would have been better for me to be in God's order, to have a mother and a father to raise me. And that's just what it is. You know, the effect that it's had, we've had women for generations now saying that they don't need a man, and we have boys that don't want to be one.
Oh,
You see all them?
Y'all cut the clip too early. She got done and she sat down like she just got done preaching and sat in her chair like this.
She just sat there with a straight face, and everybody
and just kept looking. They just started applauding because it was like a mic drop of mic
You've been
drops.
saying that you don't need.
You've been saying that you don't
the
need.
ladies don't need a man, and then we got boys who don't want to be either.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna go and watch that whole thing because Delano Squires was on there too.
I saw Delano.
Yeah.
I watched another clip of her as well, and she was on fire.
Yeah.
She's I want to call her like prophetess Ezekiel. she's like she's kind of colorful like prophet Ezekiel, and she's just sort of saying it straight up and like, you know, like you're
a little
in
crass straightness.
Is that what Ezekiel?
You're in you know, anatomy class, and she's describing. She had a great point on abortion in one of the other clips that I watched, where she was just like, don't talk to me like you don't have a choice.
Yeah,
you have a choice whether or not to have sex or not. And the point I was making earlier, she made that point.
Yeah.
In very colorful language that I don't think I can use, but she did, and she should keep doing it.
Well, hopefully we get Shamika Michelle on the show
let's get her on
this week. That'd be great to have her on. So are you done? Or do you have anything else that you want to say about it? What's your
Patriots for DeSantis.us.
And has anybody
get on there, join the email list, endorse?
Is it up live?
Yeah, it's up. It's up live. There's some big things coming.
Has anybody important signed up yet?
Yeah, there's some. Like I said, there's some big things coming.
Big things coming.
Yep. I can't say.
Okay.
Not yet.
Hey, we're gonna be in Wenatchee on Friday. Come hang out with us at the SDA Church.
You can have like a little sign up there, maybe.
Yeah.
People want to
The Patriots for DeSantis sign up.
I'm starting one called Patriots for Marriage.
If you're single, get married. If you're married, have kids. If you have kids, go baptize them. Till tomorrow, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. Go fight, laugh, and feast. This is CrossPolitic.
It is the duty of the free man to resist tyranny at every turn. Every man will either watch his freedom stripped away or take action to protect what he loves. Introducing the A3, the newest revolutionary body armor from Armored Republic. The A3 is the new standard for lightweight multi-hit body armor. A3 plates are incredibly light at 4.6 pounds. The patented design captures fragmentation while remaining multi-hit capable. The A3 will stop up to M80 ball, yet comes in at only 0.7 inches thick. The A3 is the thinnest NIJ .06 compliant or certified composite standalone plate that includes the drop test. The A3 is the first of its kind, patent pending, that combines an alloy strike face with polyethylene backing, revolutionizing body armor technology by providing strength and durability while remaining sleek and maneuverable. The A3 is the new standard in lightweight body armor. The fight against tyranny just got stronger.
Hi, I'm Robert Borton, CEO of Classical Conversations, the world's largest classical Christian homeschooling community. I'm launching a new podcast, Refining Rhetoric. If you like CrossPolitic or just listen to hear what crazy stuff they're saying today, you will enjoy Refining Rhetoric. You can find us on your favorite podcast platform. I practice the 15 tools of learning by interviewing great guests, looking at current events, and talking about cryptocurrency.